dear students, myself Gangadhar Solanke and I welcome you all to the MCGM's virtual classroom. Dear students, today we will be learning the topic conflict with the Mughals in standard 7's history. And the very first thing or the important thing which we have to understand here in this topic, that the meaning of the word conflict, which means serious disagreement or argument. So here in this topic we are going to talk about the conflict with the Mughals, and so far Shivaji Maharaj had successfully fought the Adil Shahi, but for expanding the Swaraj, conflict with the Mughals was also inevitable. The Mughals posed a great threat to Swaraj even as it began to expand. Maharaj triumphed over this threat too. He regained his forts and territories from the Mughals. He got himself crowned. He took up a campaign of the south. So in this topic, we shall learn about all these events in this chapter. And in this, the first thing which we have to talk about is Shaistakhan's invasion. Now again, the word invasion, which means an instance of invading a country or region with an armed force. It means that शाइस्तेखान जो स्वराज का रीजन है उसमें अपनी आर्मी लेके अटैक करने के लिए आया था तो शाइस्तेखान का जो इन्वेजन है दैट वी हैव टू टॉक हियर इन दिस पॉइंट. In February 1660, Shaistakhan left from Ahmednagar and entered the Pune province. He ravaged the territory of the Swaraj by sending small units of his army to the neighboring areas. He started troubling people, and then he encamped at Chakan, which is near Pune Pargana. Firangoji Narsala, the Killedar of the fort Chakan, offered a strong resistance to Shaistakhan's army, but finally the Mughals captured the fort of Chakan. And the reason behind this again in the Shaistakhan's invasion, क्योंकि शाइस्तेखान ऐसे ही नहीं आया था, बहुत सारी आर्मी उसके साथ लेके आया था. और अगर हम शिवाजी महाराज की बात करेंगे तो उनके पास उतनी आर्मी नहीं थी. एंड बिकॉज ऑफ दैट फिर भी फिरंगोजी नरसाला जो कि चाकन फोर्ट के किल्लेदार थे, उन्होंने बहुत अच्छी तरह से रेजिस्ट किया, बहुत अच्छी तरह से फाइट किया. बट द मुगल्स कैप्चर्ड द फोर्ट ऑफ चाकन. शाइस्तेखान सेट अप his camp at Lal Mahal in Pune, where Shaistakhan set up his camp at Lal Mahal in Pune, where Shivaji Maharaj had lived in his childhood, and that's why he know the place very well. उनको वहाँ का हर एक कोना कोना पता था क्योंकि वो वहाँ पर बचपन में रह चुके थे. Khan sent his forces in the regions around Pune, and these forces looted the people. 2 years passed, but he would not think of leaving Pune. और कंटिन्यूसली 2 साल वो अपनी फोर्सेस को बेचता था, लोगों को ट्रबल करता था, उन्हें लूटता था. और हमने देखा है कि शिवाजी महाराज को अपनी रैयत की सबसे ज़्यादा केयर थी, उनके लिए वो कुछ भी कर सकते थे. और 2 साल तक ये चलता रहा, लेकिन पूना छोड़ने की बात शाइस्तेखान कर ही नहीं रहा था. सो नेचुरली दिस हैड एन एडवर्स इफेक्ट ऑन द पीपल्स मॉरल, एंड इन दिस सर्कमस्टेंसेस महाराज ड्रीव अप अ बोल्ड प्लान. एंड नाउ हियर वी हैव टू टॉक अबाउट दिस bold plan. Shivaji Maharaj decided to raid Lal Mahal under his own leadership. So on 5th April 1663, Maharaj raided Lal Mahal at night with a select band of soldiers. And we know the strategy of Shivaji Maharaj, we know the guerrilla war tactics which Shivaji Maharaj used in many battles. Here also Shivaji Maharaj did the same thing with a select band of soldiers. He raided Lal Mahal on 5th April 1663, and in this raid Shaistakhan lost his fingers. He suffered great humiliation, and because of all these things he left Pune and shifted his camp to Aurangabad. Due to this episode, he incurred the displeasure of Aurangzeb. Aurangzeb transferred him to the province of Bengal, and the successful attack on Shaistakhan had an impact on the people, and their faith in the capability of Maharaj was strengthened even further. शिवाजी महाराज के बारे में लोगों के मन में विश्वास और बढ़ गया, और उन्हें ऐसे लगा कि कुछ भी प्रॉब्लम होगा, तकलीफ होगी, तो शिवाजी महाराज उसे सॉल्व करेंगे, वो भी खुद के जान पर खेल कर, क्योंकि शिवाजी महाराज ने ये काम किसी सोल्जर्स के लीडरशिप में नहीं किया था, बल्कि वो खुद इस रेड में शामिल थे अंडर हिज ओन लीडरशिप. सो बिकॉज ऑफ दिस इट पॉजिटिवली, or we can say it changed the mind of people in the positive way. Next point, the Surat campaign. As we just now discussed about the Shaistakhan, how he looted Swaraj for near about 2 years. So in 3 years time, all inclusive, Shaistakhan had ravaged large territories of the Swaraj, and it was necessary to make good these laws. And for this, Shivaji Maharaj devised a plan for teaching the Mughals a lesson. Again, one more plan by Shivaji Maharaj, and this was all about the Surat. It was a big trade center and port under Mughal control, and not only the Mughal control, the British, Dutch and French had their factories there. तो सूरत एक बहुत ही बड़ी मार्केट प्लेस थी, बहुत सारा पैसा वहाँ पर था. Maximum revenue was being generated by this city for the emperor, and it was a rich city. If we talk about the Surat, it was a rich city. That's why Shivaji Maharaj selected Surat. Inayat Khan, the Subedar of Surat, could not put up any resistance to Shivaji Maharaj or his army. Maharaj obtained plenty of wealth from Surat without bothering the common people. Again, this one the quality of Shivaji Maharaj. Maharaj obtained plenty of wealth from Surat, but without bothering the common people. शिवाजी महाराज की कोई भी मुहिम होती थी, कहीं भी लड़ाई होती थी, तो कॉमन पीपल को उनकी वजह से या फिर उनकी सोल्जर्स की वजह से कभी कोई तकलीफ नहीं होती थी. हिज कैंपेन ऑफ सूरत वॉज कंप्लीटली सक्सेसफुल, बट हाउ इट अफेक्टेड द मुगल्स. दिस कैंपेन वॉज स्टनिंग ब्लो टू एम्परर औरंगजेब्स प्रेस्टीज. एंड नाउ द नेक्स्ट, Jai Singh's invasion. With a view to curbing the increasing activities of Shivaji Maharaj, Aurangzeb sent Mirza Raja Jai Singh, an experienced, not only experienced but powerful Rajput Sardar. First time Shaistakhan was there, Afzal Khan was also there, and now the Jai Singh for some political tactics or to use some political strategy. Aurangzeb sent Mirza Raja Jai Singh. Jai Singh came to Pune. He started rallying all the forces against Shivaji Maharaj to the Portuguese of Goa and Vasai the Dutch of Angola, the British of Surat, and the Siddhis of Janjira. Jai Singh suggested that they should start a naval campaign against Maharaj. So, just now as I told you, मिर्ज़ा राजे जय सिंह विथ फुल प्लान एंड स्ट्रैटेजी कि सबको शिवाजी महाराज के खिलाफ खड़ा करना है और एक बड़ी ताकत खड़ी करके उन्हें अपोज करना है, उनकी एक्टिविटीज़ को कर्ब करना है. एंड आफ्टर कमिंग ही स्टार्टेड ऑल दिस थिंग्स. जय सिंह ड्रीव अप अ प्लान ऑफ कैप्चरिंग द फोर्ट ऑफ पुरंदर. This one you can see here, image of Purandar fort. And when the Mughals put the fort Purandar under siege, Murarbaji Deshpande fought with the greatest of courage and he died a hero's death. So here they ravaged the territories of the Swaraj. When the Mughals put the fort of Purandar under siege, the name Murarbaji Deshpande, who fought with the greatest of courage and he died a hero's death there. So considering the seriousness of the situation, Maharaj began talks for a treaty with Jai Singh. This one began talks for a treaty with Jai Singh. Again, one more thing to learn about Shivaji Maharaj here is that the political understanding or the political maturity of Shivaji Maharaj. Why we are studying history? To know the historical things and at the same time to learn the political strategies of different kings and of the kingdoms. So here one thing about शिवाजी महाराज कि जहाँ पर वो लड़ सकते थे वहाँ पर लड़ते थे, लेकिन जहाँ पर उन्हें ऐसे लगे कि अपनी ताकत कम है, अभी सभी के साथ एक ही साथ लड़ना पॉसिबल नहीं है, देन ही स्टार्टेड टॉकिंग. And here also the same thing, Maharaj began talks for a treaty with Jai Singh. He met Jai Singh personally. A treaty between Jai Singh and Maharaj was signed in June 1665 and it is known as the Treaty of Purandar. क्योंकि ये पुरंदर फोर्ट जय सिंह के पास था, वहाँ पर वो था, इन दोनों के बीच वहाँ पर ये ट्रीटी हुआ and that is why it is known as the Treaty of Purandar. And according to this treaty, or in accordance with the terms of the treaty, Maharaj gave the Mughals 23 of his forts and the adjoining territories yielding an annual revenue of 4 lakh ones. Just think about this number. ये उस वक्त के नंबर है. 4 लाख होन्स जो रेवेन्यू उनको उस एरिया से, उस रीजन से आता था, वो रीजन दे दिया और 23 फोर्ट्स उन्होंने मिर्ज़ा राजे जय सिंह को इस ट्रीटी में दे दिए. He also assured the Mughals of help against the Adil Shahi. Whenever Adil Shahi attack Mughals, then Shivaji Maharaj Mughals के बाजू में खड़े रहेंगे. That is what is. He also assured the Mughals of help against the Adil Shahi. The treaty was ratified by Aurangzeb. And now, after this treaty, there is talk between Mirza Raja Jai Singh and in between the Shivaji Maharaj. So after the Treaty of Purandar, Jai Singh launched a campaign against Adil Shahi. Maharaj helped Jai Singh, but this campaign of Jai Singh was not successful, though Shivaji Maharaj helped him. Jai Singh and Aurangzeb felt that Shivaji Maharaj ought to be kept away at least for some time from the Deccan politics. And for that, again, he planned something for Shivaji Maharaj. And according to that plan, Jai Singh proposed to Shivaji Maharaj that he should visit Agra and meet the emperor. Before going Agra, Mirza Raja Jai Singh guaranteed the safety of Shivaji Maharaj. Shivaji Maharaj set out for Agra. He was accompanied by Prince Sambhaji and a few of his trusted people who always played an important role. जब से हम शिवाजी महाराज के बारे में पढ़ रहे हैं, जो भी लोग उनके साथ होते थे हर एक मुहिम में, always played an important role. वो अपने जान पे खेलते थे लेकिन शिवाजी महाराज को कुछ नहीं होने देते थे. Here also the same thing. Shivaji Maharaj accompanied by Prince Sambhaji and a few of his trusted people who were ready to risk their lives for him. The speciality or the quality of Shivaji Maharaj's soldier. And then Shivaji Maharaj, after traveling, reached Agra, but there Aurangzeb did not treat him with due honor at his court, and that's why Maharaj gave vent to his rage. Here you can see. There was no one to stand like this in front of the emperor and talk in front of him. But Shivaji Maharaj did this, and by this action of the emperor, Maharaj devised a plan of escaping from his house arrest. He adroitly escaped from Agra and reached Maharashtra safely after few days. He had left Sambhaji Raje at Mathura and Shivaji Maharaj reached Raigad. Now this one again not simple thing to do. इतने छोटे संभाजी महाराज थे, उनको मथुरा में छोड़ के शिवाजी महाराज आगरा में पहुंच गए. उन्हें वो कॉन्फिडेंस था, उन्हें पता था कि उन्हें वापस कैसे लाना है. अगर वो दोनों एक साथ चले जाते तो एम्परर के लोग जो शिवाजी महाराज को ढूंढ रहे थे उनको ढूंढना आसान हो जाता, क्योंकि एक छोटे बच्चे के साथ एक आदमी है और उसे ट्रेस करना बहुत ईजी हो जाता. तो एम्परर को मिसगाइड करने के लिए, एम्परर के लोगों को मिसगाइड करने के लिए शिवाजी महाराज ने छोटे जो संभाजी महाराज थे उनको मथुरा में छोड़ दिया और वो खुद आगरा पहुंच गए. एंड देन लेटर प्रिंस संभाजी वॉज ब्रॉट सेफली टू राजगढ़. While Maharaj was away from Swaraj, Veer Mata Jizabai and the associates of Shivaji Maharaj looked after the administration of Swaraj. So शिवाजी महाराज स्वराज में अगर होते भी थे नहीं भी होते थे तो उन्होंने जो एक एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन की सिस्टम बनाकर रखी थी, राइट, विद द हेल्प ऑफ 8 मिनिस्टर्स एंड इन द प्रेजेंस ऑफ वीर माता जीजाबाई, सब कुछ स्मूथली स्वराज में रन होता था. सो दिस वाज ऑल अबाउट द शाइस्तेखान इन्वेजन, द सूरत कैंपेन, जय सिंह इन्वेजन, आगरा विजिट एंड एस्केप. Subscribe the channel and press bell icon to get notifications. So my dear ones, this is all for today. Thank you very much. Stay home, stay safe, take care.